run to London for medical treatment. So those of us that do not have money to go to London for medical treatment, maybe we can run to Pastor Warri for prayers, which I believe that will definitely work. Then we should die. So taking Amaka going there to protest, yeah, come back home and treat yourself. The mess you put here, you have a good hospital here, you will not be going abroad. The Esther code and the foreign exchange you are going to waste there, why don't we use it to buy equipment in our hospitals? I still tell you, corruption is still some of the major cause of this. Like I said, don't be surprised too. Money that was allocated for equipping the health institutions has gone on voicemail. Has gone on voicemail.
Did you see the interview that the president granted to CNN, when he was saying that money appropriated for this was spent by people involved, so to be in their pockets? And she was saying, wow, will this happen? People will just take money meant for a particular purpose and put in their pockets.
And what did you do?
What did you do?
What did you do as the president?
In fact, that is a testimony of the failure of this government. In fact, my greatest problem is not that Nigeria does not have a problem. It's not that we are putting all the total blame on the president. My greatest challenge with this government is that they lack response. They lack total response to any issue. There is
respond as well.
I will use the word response because all issues there has been no adequate or even meaningful response to the issues that are troubling this country. How can you imagine that you, the president, will make complaint that they ate money under your watch and those people are still holding their jobs? Even the Minister of Health is still holding his job. The person in the director of health in that particular department is still holding his job. And then you are talking on CNN. That is the worst shame I talk of. People should lose their job and be in prison by now for such a thing to happen. That is my worry. It's like I used to be one of the critics of Jonathan's government, that because then it's like when he wanted his second tenure, he allowed a lot of the northern ghouls took money the way they liked and there was no repercussion. And that was one of my criticism against that government. Not that he was the one that was actually stealing this money, but he left the door open because he wanted these people to support him. So he saw them stealing it and he said nothing. And this is exactly what this government has done for 6 years.
Okay. Now let's look at this issue very critically now. What do you think will be the effect of this on the nation now? What will be the effect on the nation? Because it's very, very worrisome one now. The state is not at ease any longer. If you go on the streets, everywhere is calm. White people are so scared of coming out. Sometimes they hear gunshots, you don't know who's shooting, so everybody's like hiding. So the business of that state right now is crumbled, especially the state capitals. What is the effect of this on the nation? Anambra is going to have elections this year. So what's going to happen? We only saw the other day, last week or so, where Soludo's was attacked and it's going to get killed. So what is the effect of the nation? Because it seems like it's going on everywhere now. I'll begin with you, Ambassador Tony.
Well, it's very clear. It's anarchy that is trying to brew in the country. I'm not even looking at the state, because there is ripple effect that will spill, like he has said, even, and we have seen it, that started spilling to other part of the country if it's not curtailed.
What is the same reason?
Listen, it's just like a child that wants to cry. He went to push his head. For all reasons, the one he knows, the one he doesn't know, we use it to cry. The reason is that, the cause is that the mommy pushes his head. That is it. So something might not just happen, just a little thing can just spike up the same thing elsewhere. So the country is going in a state of anarchy. I will not bend my mind to say that until the government retrace their steps, come back and look at the situation, handle it properly from the bottom of their heart with good conscience, then we are not going anywhere. I'm telling you the truth.
So
Instead, it will escalate more than what we are seeing today. So Nigeria should be ready for the best.
Nobody wants to see civil war. Well, when we see civil war, and we hear of the stories, and it's not a palatable one at all for anybody to want to see, to go through. Because war is not a good situation to pass through. Pastor Joshua, do you think the same way too? People are so angry, agitating to go on their own. So,
I think this issue is not just restricted to the northern, to the east region. You also see the
effect.
Yes, the effect of this is number one. I see that the government appears to have made up their mind to suppress the common man, no matter whose house is God. They don't care. That's what is happening now, and also this will also affect our economic life. Because in those areas where soldiers have taken over and...
a story yesterday where was saying that it's not time to negotiate with these people. It's time to go after them and flush them. Because you don't negotiate with people that don't give you peace. Terrorists, don't flush them. That's what they were saying as regards the terrorists.
Terrorism.
Flushed out.
I think Arufai is speaking from experience. You know, he did some negotiation before, and he now tried to win them back and give them money, and they came back and decimated Katuna for him. So he is speaking from experience. He has learned the hard lesson, and many of the northern governors are still behaving stupid. Talking about one bill they want to make is about funding what do you call it, terrorists to go and study abroad. You know, Nigerians will always like to every situation and circumstances. You don't negotiate with terrorism, with terrorists rather. It's non-negotiable. It's something you don't get yourself into. And this government, the federal government, has been giving terrorists money in form of negotiation over the school children that are getting as help to fund their and make them stronger. So Erfa is correct because he's speaking from experience. He's not speaking from one kind of stupid ideology. It is what he has seen one-on-one.
Yes, I'm going to ask now, do you think that method should be used all over the state? Because it's not only one place now that is being insecure.
The issue of the eastern region and the west and some part of the north central, it has nothing to do with terrorism. It is, although it is like it has been an issue of agitation. We know there has been agitation in this region.
Okay, so all the regions have different reasons.
Yes, it's not the same. It's not the same. For instance, this the west and started cleaning people out of their town. Sunday Igboho. You can't tell me that man is a terrorist. His reason for coming out to do what he's doing was different. Like the Odudu came to declare that they want to. A different reason.
Some have said that they are not this because they don't want any division. They want us to be together.
Because they are governors and they are eating from the money. Because they have ministerial position. Just like Loretta Onoshe will open her mouth and say that people who are telling this country us. Because she's under the salary of the president and she knows what she's doing, but it's her job to lie. She's to lie and to say such things. So if she stops saying such things, her salary will stop. So those who are saying such things you can't tell me a sane Western man.
You say, when people talk like this sometimes, somebody will just say that why do you last forever?
Of course.
You are there for a time. So when your time is up, you go back to the same people you are calling winners. So how do you fit in?
In this country, they will fit him because they are, that time is the money they are looking for, and yes. They bring the money to the society.
The society will hail
you again.
People forget so small.
They don't forget it's poverty. It's poverty. Yes. They don't forget it's poverty. They remember. They know you are a criminal. Yes. Just for instance, sorry to say, if you have a child that is a Yahoo and you are in abject poverty, where you can't even train the children and you can't feed them well, 99% of the time you know he is wrong. But you can't refuse the money,
of course,
because of your poverty. And this thing, I don't pretend you didn't know that is Yahoo. If you choose to, not that you don't really know that this boy is frauding people to get of the acute poverty that you choose to believe an alternative truth. That is what happens. If not, the people knows, and they despise these people. But they pretend so that they can get a part of the money because of poverty.
Okay, looking at now, let me go to best now. I mean, Tony, you calling you best, Tony. Yes, this is really effect now. Do you think that each state should handle their own situation to the federal government, because it's everywhere now?
Well, we are still discussing and debating on what you are talking about now is state policing.
State policing, anyone can call it, and it's just to reduce the rate of insecurity, because people are not safe anymore. You can't even travel in some places.
What I think the states should do, they should raise a security outfit to to complement the federal security services which have failed us. That they have agreed that they are going to change their tactics now. So let's see, let's see the new tactics they will bring. But I will still advise every state to raise up a security outfit, because they may know their terrain very well. Let them raise a security outfit to complement what the federal government will be bringing. I think we'll get it. Yes,
I think
people were saying that we need more people. We need more people in the force, because
no, raising security outfit definitely is not animal. You bring more people to add to the new security outfit. You bring. That is it.
If the government will allow that to happen for each state.
Exactly.
Because we just said that every state don't have the same reason for what is happening.
of course.
So there are different reasons in different places.
Definitely.
So this one of the list now will be about IPOP.
Inequality, suppression of people's rights and the rest of it, and agitations for better governance could be the reason for that. People, for instance, the Boko Haram, we know their ideology. The ideology, the problem they are bringing is Western education is bad, means don't mix with the West. Then the Fulani cattle, they are looking for land. They believe that every land that is along the line of the Niger of John, as they come down, belongs to them, given to them by God. So that is the reason for their behavior. So every region has reasons for what they are the same. And it's just very organized yet. We have a reason, the Niger Delta, why we agitated, we had a reason for our agitation. Inequality. Just look at
marginalization.
Look at, just for instance, our Ijeba estate here close to us here. You will see in your community where the place belongs to you, you are in darkness. But that place, their light is 24/7. First of all, that mentality is enough to raise arms against the people, because the place belongs to you, and you are here, you are watching strangers coming from far, staying in where there is no power failure, and you are in darkness perpetually. No, it's another set of problem. Like my friend was talking about police. I pray we know state police is the way to go, but we cannot use the mentality of this federal police, the same crop of people, to start the state police, because the psychology and the mentality of our policing is structurally wrong.
So we need new people to come on board.
If the same people, they have to go for and reorientation, because the psychology of our policing is very wrong. This is structured to be the boss, to be the man in power, and everybody that challenges them is under them. That is the psychology. If not, normally, how can a police make an arrest over an issue you have not investigated? How can you send somebody, and even our court system, how can you remind somebody for an issue that there's no faint sense of proof, and you send the person for 2 weeks, 1 month to go to jail? Then by the time they bring the person, they see the person is innocent. That is injustice. So this whole state policing has to be done with restructuring of our mindset and reorientation of our mentality. And the psychology of our policing is already problematic. We have to go into that. Sorry to say, I'm not trying to attack the police system, but that is what is obtainable. You here, if you have money and you are a commissioner, you can simply send me to Alagbon, and just with your phone call, whether I am wrong or not is a matter of allegation. How can you arrest somebody just for an allegation? not that there's proof.
It's not what we are seeing today.
That's, listen.
We still see application. Now, and they said it's IPOB, IPOB said it's X-Men. Now the governor is saying that these agreed politicians are sponsoring human attacks. That's why I said there is political undertone in all of this.
Definitely. You can't remove it. There is political undertone. And without missing words, we know definitely there are things we don't want to say publicly here. And there are any things we know people are pretending over. People are pretending over, but we all in the South we know the reason for that. Even the government didn't know. They know the reason for that. When there was the agitation, the riots all over, and the standing over the Niger bridge to riot for the number of years, the government is aware. And when these people even come out and they are making memorandums, they are aware. Government is aware. This is not the first time. They know. So the government has to sit up, and their reaction to this should not be to decimate innocent people.
So what you are saying that the government is very sensitive to the people's plight?
And to agree with Brother Tony, I think the government, their reaction to this issue should not be forced. Because the real problem is not the attack. What led to this attack? Why are these people behaving the way they are behaving?
Of course.
If you can call terrorists and want to reform them in the north, for instance, let me assume it is the secessionist movement. Why can you not call them to negotiate with them? And you take army there to want to decimate everybody. And you are negotiating with terrorists in the north and giving them money. Then you cannot call this person, what is your problem? That is what the government should be doing. What is your problem? Okay, I have this problem. I don't like the way they are doing things like this in Nigeria. Okay, let us meet halfway. Or let us meet 1/10 of the way. Are you getting me now? Let me do 1 or 2. If the government has been handling things in this way, many of the agitations would have been reduced. Like one time in my community, I wouldn't name, we had issues. We had a lot of agitations. There came an emergence of a new king, and his reaction. There is an agitation in this family. I think from this family. Okay, let me resolve some of this agitation. Okay, you kingmakers, you are getting from here, you are getting from here. I will do that. Everybody, but to an extent, he was able to talk some of the issues. So the agitation reduced by more than 20% or 40%, unlike when it was an outcry everywhere before. So, approach I expect the government to be doing. If you kill the people in Anambra, for instance in Warri, something happens in Anambra, you go and kill them too. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I know that you're a politician, and there's something they call security vote. What happens to that? Because right now, I don't know, everywhere, even in our state, Delta State now, there's something that's not even still safe. We still hear of communal crisis, people still fight themselves and all of that. So, what happens?
Well, first of all, like the name implies, security vote is an allocation that is being given to the government, either the governor or the president, for them to dip hand into in an emergency situation when there is security outbreak or issues. But in the country, in the present stand today, the security vote has been the best way for the government to siphon money, because the security vote has no audit. Yeah, you cannot audit it. The governors get right, the president get right to dip the hand into it and take as much as they want. You cannot scrutinize it.
But can you give report on that?
No.
Who do you give report to?
Just to spend as...
Yes, of course. You don't audit that
You don't audit that account.
At all?
No, because that account, normally, for instance, you go and say, I gave this number of ex-soldiers so and so money.
To do that.
No, you don't audit it. The problem is corruption. If there was no corruption, those things would not be.
So people are agitating that security vote should be stopped.
Okay.
But to me, if you stop it, they will instigate more crisis to come out. For you to know that money you stopped, that was the money they've been using.
Are we not having that problem now, even without that?
You must have that problem. You must have that problem to justify the money they are spending on that security vote, you said. problem must come. If that problem will not come, how will they spend the money there?
Okay, so now that we're having this security problem all over now, can't it be used to help solve these problems?
The things you'll be hearing now is that the money will not enough, they should increase it. Because the problem keep on coming every now and then. So the security vote is not enough even now to use at the moment. So what are you saying? They need to increase it.
So if we're talking about each state handle their own state because we have different issues, not the same. So how can we go about it if that money is not enough for them to spend? At least you do something from the beginning.
They are doing something. What happened now in the Warri? Didn't the governor come out? Didn't the governor mobilized? Didn't the governor meet people? Empower security agencies to go for, find out what is the cost. Yeah. So where did he get that money from? Where did he get it from? It is part of the security, of course. Of course.
So why are you laughing at that?
That's a classical example of Nigerian situation. Trying to solve a problem in a way that it doesn't get solved. That's why I'm laughing. He just explained to you that by the books, the governor has done his job.
Of course.
He has done his job. I don't think the problem is an issue of security vote. I think may God help us. And I pray also.
Of that, because it's part of to help curb security.
The problem is not money. This problem is not money. The problem of insecurity is not money. We know money is one of the issues on buying weapons, getting more personnel. But the problem is not money. You can't tell me the problem in this is money that is not available. No, it's not money. The problem is that the government is not attacking issues. They are not attacking issues and they are not discussing over issues.
Is the state government now?
This is a federal problem because the federal government is in charge of security. The state governor is just a caretaker.
It's an exclusive list.
It's in the exclusive list. Security is a federal issue.
Every case is the logistics
officer. Yes, chief logistics officer. If not, the federal government is in charge of security. That's why the other time when I came, I said, if for instance, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa is responsibility, it is clear that it is his responsibility to secure us. He will do much more because he knows that the people will hold him accountable. But because he knows that this is not his responsibility, and such he cannot, even if he dabbles into it, he is behaving unconstitutional. The federal government will call him to order. They will not even allow him. But if each state is responsible for the security of their people, things will change. For instance, let me tell you, the governor in the southeast, if those police formation were Owerri police formations and the prisons were Owerri prisons, that does not mean you will not have some federal prisons around. The people will not attack it. The governor knows all the henchmen around the states. He knows the warlords. He knows the people. He reaches them. And when he reaches them, he tells them his plans. And those who are aggrieved, he knows how to bring them to order. It is easier for the governor to take care of the security of his people. So it is in many issues. I think the greatest problem of Nigeria is this woke federalism. It is not, it is a pretend federalism. For instance, imagine if I'm from the West and I am in charge of my security, in charge of my power, in charge of investment, in charge of my trade, with some relationship with the federal. What would be the reason for agitation, for separation, or for any other thing? Because everything I need is within me there.
So you think that if power is broken at the center and taken down to the states, well, we're having all these problems?
Definitely, the evolution of power
is at the center.
Is it because everything, not only power, both money and everything, all belongs to the center.
That's what I'm saying.
So everybody wants to kill to be in the center, and both the power of the constitution is in the center. So yes, if it is broken down, nobody will want to leave Nigeria if it is broken down. Because, for instance, now I'm in South, and let me, for instance, Delta State, I'm here, and I see that the big oil companies here, it is my cousin, my uncle, myself that are the directors. Just come to this place here, this common one we have here. It's all, Boys of 35 years, they are the ones that are directors and the ones that are chief executive officers. And you that the place belongs to is your father's property and your father's land. The oil they are drilling impacts you. You can't work there. You can't even get the contracts they will give to people like Tony. They will give you contracts of maybe highest 15 million. You see, when they come from there, they carry contracts of close to 2 billion, 5 billion. That's what happens. So if I am here and I'm well taken care of here, I see that I can walk in what belongs to me. I don't want to even, don't share money for me. I work, if I'm working there, my two uncles are working there, they can take care of me. What am I going to do in Abuja?
Okay, so the government has a lot of role to play in this.
The evolution of power is another reason for what is going on. They have to devolve power back to the federation. Then you see people will stop agitating about the center. Then will start becoming creative. They start talking about how to generate, because the north is blessed, but because of oil nobody is looking at. Just imagine the way Dangote is just getting away with his cement thing. If not for oil and people's attention and the states that has those all focus on it and the proper taxation on it, it will drive a lot of financial benefit to the people. But everything belongs to the federal government, and it goes there, they give him waiver and one thing and the other.
So all this is all still on the government to do something. If not, we keep having it, because attacking our police station and correctional center is not going at all.
At all.
And nobody knows who is an escape prisoner or not, except the village people that knew that person that ran back home and was burnt alive because they didn't want him in the community. They had to kill him like that. So if the government don't do something about it,
yes,
it's going to be spread into other states, as we can see now. So unemployment, I keep wondering, why can't we have more industries producing, so that the young ones can have something to do?
That is not the solution.
Why is not the solution? That's part of employment, ambassador. That's part of employment. If people are employed, the youths are employed. We saw what happened in NSAS. If they are employed, they are meaningful employed, and we have factories, industry around us, where we produce. But we depend too much on foreign goods. If we have ways that our youths can be engaged, maybe some of these things will be reduced.
When the country is not stable, when the leadership of the country are not truthful, how do you think industry will come? In our elementary economics, we were told how to cite an industry. It must be closer to power supply. When there is no power supply, all our industries are down because the power supply company are not doing their work. So how will the industry grow? How will people be employed? I still agree with you that the major cause of this problem in the country should still be boiled down to unemployment. Unemployment. So the industry cannot work when the leadership of the country are not truthful. The power, they don't do it. So how can it work?
But it's when we fixed power within 46 months, and now it's over 6 years, and we're still waiting.
In your area where you live, people that are managing ice block, do you know how much ice block costs now? Because no light.
Now we're going solar.
In the case of chicken before the egg, which is not possible.
Because that's what they said now. So maybe we begin to hold them to their words.
It's not possible.
Because when you're saying one thing, don't do it, then you're not fit to be there. Anyway, we'll leave it at for today. Also, big thanks to my guest this morning who have come to join us to talk about state of the nation, the attack of and its effect on the nation. Very also, if it's not properly handled by the government, it might spill out to other parts. Of the country, because like people will say that if somebody does something, for example, if a pastor does something and is not corrected or punished, Reverend Joshua might just do even worse. I said, when the pastor did, nothing happened, so why me? Why can't I do it? So people look at that and use that excuse to perpetrate more. We just hope and pray that government does something about it so that the country will be safe. The president has said, go after the IPOB and destroy and kill and all of that. Anybody with AK-47 should be immediately killed and all that. We pray it happens one day that this country stable security. Thank you, Ambassador Tony Abdullah and Reverend Warri of Life Training.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Just keep watching in the morning. Want to take a break and more after our message.
This week, this Saturday, on Channels TV, on drtv, join Tuesdays on NTA Asaba, join Fridays on DBS,
When I was in the hospital, mommy, I was crying, thinking of who will help me, how will I get out from the hospital. I even did a surgery, so it was a surprise that you are the one that who paid for me, and I don't even know that you are the one.
3 days ago, noticed that the Excellency, the governor's wife, came and paid for me. What she's doing in this state, it's only God that will reward her. I don't even know how I would have come out from this hospital.
I thought it was a joke that my bill has been paid all, not even one that was remaining. I was like jumping out from my bed with my 2 legs.
Oh, 5
initiative changing our world.
To one policeman. You carry this kind of money, you have it. You want to use a period of 3 years. I don't. You can't stop them. But to me, it gives me a very bad sign that we as a nation employment opportunities effectively environment, sink it into one moribund refinery that everybody knows it's not going to work. This is the first time it's like that.
You think it will not work if they rehabilitate it? Let me come to Chief. Chibakina said he has a bad sign about this. Do you also have a bad sign about it and you think it will not work? Rather than going ahead about it?
I don't think it will not work. No, there's no bad thing in what they are doing. What is right.
is right. They have started is good.
What is right that they should do?
You know, this is our country, and I work with an NPC for 33 years. They have did many town turnaround maintenance, rehabilitations in my presence, and that's why I'm saying that only they do what is right. If you can, my co-chief has said, most of the time this money, half of this money is not going to be used in the refurbishing of the refinery. Half of this money to be also eaten by people. End of the year, come back with that's not working. Benefit from it. We won't stop saying we're important, we're not important. So that's why I said if you use their senses well, use the money, because if you want to rehabilitate, let us assume that they want to purchase a new one. If this pump is not working, we want to purchase a new one. Not question of carry this pump. Calculate that they will just blast it, paint it, bring it back. On is not, and they will tell us they have spent $1.9 billion. If they use it well, we are purchase what they want to purchase. Give the job to the people that are experts. Not question of bringing that. Well, I know one turnaround they did in refinery here. They brought one fishing company to come and rehabilitate a refinery. What are they?
How can fishing company?
I'm just telling you that if they do not do it well, what my friend have said will be the positive thing. But if they give the job to the people to buy what is supposed to be buy, and the is working 100%, we see people everywhere, and everybody will enjoy it. You see, the habitation will, employment will come, because they are to employ youths, technical people, graduates. For that 3 years, we get enough to job opportunity. And immediately they finish, they will equal people who service those machines, employ them direct to create job opportunity. If they go ahead, company to come and do technical job.
Saying that, I just wonder, looking at what they said about it, people that are coming to rehabilitators are from, is it Japan they're coming from?
Italy.
Japan, it's not Japan they're coming from.
Italy.
So are they not repeatable enough?
I tell you, Italian people coming, bring people who can speak Italy, but under them, who doing the job are local people from. You will see they will give it to one Chinese company or one Daewoo company. They will come and play mago piano.
What do you think should be done? Because right now, they are trying to stop them. So at this point that they are going ahead, what do you think should be done?
They will have to. For me, if I'm to suggest, the right thing to be done, like my co-chief has said, he has said what should be done. That is, do it.
Even the right people.
Let the right people get the job done correctly. Okay? Because it's been signed already. The contract has been signed. So nothing anybody can do about it right now without incurring legal costs. So he has said it. What they should do is to make sure they use the right people to do it correctly. But then, after they have done it, and I hear it's going to be 3 years. 3 years.
To rehabilitate it. Just one refinery.
By that time,
Does it take that long to rehabilitate it?
but that's what they put on the paper.
No, ordinarily, does it take that long to rehabilitate?
It depends on the scope of work. Now, by that time, this administration will have gone. And you know very well that a year, but let's say 2022, the country starts stopping to do anything because of the anticipation of change of government in the next year, 2023. So everybody is laid back, working on. So you're going to lose a whole 2 years out of those 3 and some years. So you see, you know the ease of doing business is too high, which means they will have to go through all kinds of long lead items, all kinds of procurement things. They have to bring things in, they have to send things to somewhere to fabricate and bring back. They have to go through that process. Nigerian society is not ready to quicken such processes. Now, approval process, you know, to import something, you know how difficult it is into Nigeria. We live on import too, but you know it's so difficult to import. You know what's happening at the Apapa and port there. Okay, even if they're going to take the thing directly to One, customs will come, Nation will come, Navy will come, everybody will come. My sister, my people, you see, I really need us to be frank to ourselves. What I would want to suggest for them is, look, now that a company has agreed to do the turnaround maintenance, let them package that together with that contract and sell thing, privatize it, sell it out. Just sell it out to any group that's interested.
Will that not be after reputation, or will that be during reputation?
I'm saying that it's possible. You give it to it for something, all right? It depends on how the contract is crafted anyway. You can actually package the whole of that thing, all right? Package the whole of that thing, including the contract, and hand it over to private enterprise. You can do that.
I see the leasing
that private
or selling.
It depends on so many things you can do. For example, now you can say, okay, come, you contractor and you company, can you please build, operate and transfer to another company? Can you do that? Or you can package that. The government should start to remove their hands. My sister, are you hearing me? Government should start to remove their hands from business entities. Let me give you 2007, 8, 9. We are going to bring $650 million to build 120,000 barrel per day refinery capacity in modules. The technology, everything has been approved, all things have been approved. We know that we did a lot to make sure we facilitated the process quite all right. Now, 1.9 billion could have built a brand new refinery of adequate capacity. $1.9 billion should have built, at least, even if you say you don't want to make it too complex, all right, let it not be too complex. If you spend $1.9 billion, you should go home with at least a very good refinery of 100,000 barrels per day. And it's not you that should build it. You package it in such a way that the money is available as guarantee, all right, to other people who will attract money to get it done. It's a guarantee to get it done. So just put that money available as guarantee, back up to other individuals, companies in Nigeria here, Nigerians, all right, or even those who are ready to come build, operate, and transfer to some others using SPVs. You do that, and then that money is guaranteeing people who build refineries that will work.
That money can build one or more than one refinery, 1.9
of a certain capacity. Okay. I'm saying about 100,000 barrels per day. Okay. That is not too complex.
Okay, so how long will it take to build?
To build?
Yes. I said I 1.5 billion will have it for like 3 years.
3 years.
So building it will not be how long will it take?
3 years.
To build.
I tell you, it's 3 years.
And 3 years to rehabilitate. So it's almost the same time.
Same thing.
Same thing. So
at the end of the day, you have a brand new facility.
So when I go to rehabilitate now,
with a proper setup, a proper management setup. So why didn't they think of that? Why didn't they think of that? Is why I don't know. I don't know why they didn't think of that. Maybe Chief can tell us why they didn't think of that. That's an insider.
Won't it be like, won't it still be the capacity as a new one? Will it?
You see, to build a new refinery.
Yes.
Not a modular refinery. You know, modular refinery is different from a refinery. So if you want to build a refinery, this warri, it may take you up to 3 years or 4 years. So why it takes them to repair is that it's like you are building a new one. All the bad pipes, you have to cut the pipe away. Anything that is bad, you remove it. The time of removing, bringing new one to install, will be taking you more time. If you're building a new one, you just clear the land, foundations for all the things, bringing new one, start mounting. But if you are repairing, you have to remove the old one first, bring the new one to put. So the things you want to remove that. So it will take you more time to remove, bring new one to fix. That's why you see that it will take almost the same time. But if an old one rehabilitated, it will work as a new one because they are going to bring new motors, new pumps, new this. Like if you are going here and if you are FCC here, if you are going to do work on FCC, if you work on FCC well, it will be working like a new one. Because all the things that are bad has been removed and new one put inside. However, you need space for a new one. You have to go and find another space where you will, because you will not, if you want them to remove all this one and bring new one and put it on the same spot, take you to 6 years before you be able to evacuate all the machines here, bring in new machines. So you have to go and look for another location to build a new one, negotiate, do your work, do everything and start bringing. Yeah, as I said, the problem of Nigerians is to import. Immediately they are importing because all these materials they are going to import them. They don't build them in Nigeria. It's not here.
So none can be done here at all.
You cannot do more. You can fabricate some machines, some here if you go to. That way I'm telling you that you can remove old one to somewhere. Because I know Nigerians can produce something. They can.
Back to what you just said about selling refineries now. You know, I think about when he was campaigning at that time, he did mention that if he becomes president, he's going to sell the refineries, and many people didn't see it good at all. Even got angry and said, oh, well, he wants to sell our national asset and all of that. privatize.
Privatize it will not even. All the things they sold, Nitel. No, they still exist. It has been privatized. Things they privatized. In Warri here, Bendel street structure was privatized. Where is it? Where? So the things they do, they will still go and give it to their brother. Their brother will not and run it down. You see, if you said one of the finalists, who is going to buy this one large, they will use one of Igbo name to buy it, and they will run it according to the Nigerian system, and they will fail. So it's better they leave it where it
for government.
You see, NEPA is doing this, but they privatize NEPA. Go here, where light. Since they privatize NEPA, government is still giving the money. Government is still giving the money. Giving the money to buy things. The company, you said, if I sell it, it will work well. Government is still giving NEPA money, and they are not even working well. Where is the light? Okay, so selling and privatizing will not help anybody, because the ones they sold before did not work.
So government should continue paying.
They should be, if they are still in charge, yeah, so that we know all this money they are spending. If government is spending it direct, that when it was NEPA, they are selling it direct, they will see somebody they will respond. Now you are sent to BDC, BDM, giving the money, they are not even producing, they are not, no light. Since yesterday, not in my area. So okay, so now it's normal.
Let's talk about, no, it's not why I say it's normal.
It's not supposed. But what they told us, that if they sold NEPA, they will work, and it's not working. It's not working.
People are complaining that the facilities on ground are old and need to be replaced.
So that is why if they now say, okay, let them change all the transformers, as according to you said, you package it and you give to new people. So you have to package, bringing new transformers, making all this our rope on the road. Some of them are sag. You see somewhere they use wood hold them so that they will not be touching. They're supposed to have changed those aluminium, change it to new one, and they will stand. You see that you will see many places they use wood, tie them so that they will be touching. They are old transformers. If you go to any junction, you will know every 2-3 days you hear so transformer sparking. Tomorrow they will still come and tell the people to bring money, collect money. These people, they will come and meet you people to bring money. If you don't bring, they not go repair it. And is that privatizer?
Sometimes you don't bring money, they don't even do anything about it.
If the money before if they saw you not there, you buy. So you let to because we are not getting anything.
Chief Akim mentioned about the environment. Right now, Nigeria is not really safe because of security issues, and you need a safe environment to bring in people to invest in the country. So looking at reputation now, and this is not safe. How would they come from Italy to come and fix the refinery in a very peaceful atmosphere? We will have agitation everywhere in communities. You know, see people are fighting here and there, and then we see there. Only this week in Imo State. So the environment also matters a lot. So what do you think of that, Chief?
Okay. You when you have, you just give up. You have to do what you can, the best use of what you have. I'm happy that yesterday that in the entire country it's only the south that is relatively free of bandits, that the rest of the country is turbulently being tormented by bandits. Yes, we have relatively, comparatively. It's
not that it's totally free.
It's not as bad as others in the other areas. We have our own Fulani headsmen issues, but we don't have young men, yet jumping and owning police stations and sacking whole villages yet. We have not gotten to that. Yes, we've not started abducting children. But having said that, I think there are indices in the World Bank that say which areas in the world are favorable for businesses. And there are rankings that are done by the World Bank all over the world. And Nigeria is improving, but still too low as far as ease of doing business is concerned. Now, these Italians who are coming to do this, the truth of the matter is this. Ordinarily, they should have done all their due diligence, all their security checks, all their environmental ranking. They should have done that. And it is also true that very many companies who could easily have done the job better backed out because of the situation that you are just talking about. If this they were going to venture into it with all the environmental turbulence, then so be it, let them come. But I'm just hoping that they are sincere and that at the very drop of the hat they will not compromise and do some of the things that Chief is talking about here. After saying all that, we are trying to just make the best out of a very bad situation. In the last administration, well, it's still in this administration, the first tenure, the Minister of Petroleum Resources said he prefers co-location, and he talked about co-location, and that brings, because of what Chief said about clearing new areas, which is also a co-location was brought in to manage that situation at that time, so that some facilities can be shared with the existing refineries. That is, for example, the product tanks, the crude tanks, those ones can be shared. Shared. That is a new refinery beside the old one. Okay, so you put another one there, so just around it. So they are using the same facilities, the same infrastructure.
If there's space.
Yes, if there's space. You can't do it. But most of the time there's enough space, because you have to have a buffer zone. As you set up a refinery, there must be a buffer zone around it. So for possible expansion, and also to mitigate other environmental incidents. So yes, that buffer zone, you can actually use those buffer zones.
It's not working
to
again.
Collocate. But that collocation, which was as brilliant as it was, because at that time what they said was that they would like private enterprises to come and they will give them land. They actually established corridors. They call them corridors, because I was talking with the DPR, and they said they had actually established corridors, refinery corridors. People can actually go and set up refineries, and then the minister said, good, that if you want to rank the positions in corridor, you would like to rank those places that are near rest to the existing refineries as the most preferred locations. Are you getting me now? So co-location that they are refurbishing Port Harcourt refinery doesn't mean refining. It's not necessarily going to, because 1,000 barrels per day capacity in Nigeria today. Are you getting me? The installed capacity, 4 of them, 445. Just trying to repair something for so many years. Not working for many years. So you are trying to refurbish that. You are not even adding to the capacity. Okay. So for me, the fear that people have on privatization, there are two. One is they think we fail. It will fail, and when it fails, a lot of people will be affected. A lot of people will be affected.
Just an example now,
yes.
Of what happened to
yes.
and
look at DSC now. It's just here. Example. Oh, my goodness. So if you privatize a company without or hand over those people, then you are not doing a very good job of privatizing. This, you have to upon, you have to that. It's not just play. You have to put those measures in place and then followed. Okay. Institution or that of it properly. You know, if you do well, you said it now. If you do well, it will work. But the issue is doing it well. It's so difficult in this place called Nigeria. Doing it well is so difficult. We have our own problems.
We are not sincere.
Like one of my guys said those days, said the doors are open but people refuse to pass through. The doors are open, people refuse to pass through.
So is it still like that now?
It's like that, and it's getting worse every day.
Doors still open.
The doors are open, but people don't pass. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Is there no land to farm? There's land to farm, isn't it? How many people want to go and farm? Okay, even if somebody says he wants to go and farm, what are the things that are preventing him from going straight to farm? I'm just giving you that as an example.
Okay.
The doors are open, people refuse to pass through for either their own fault or their own assessment of the environment in which they have to pass through the door. Not point. I don't know whether to say that sometimes there are impediments that are put in our way, and those impediments can actually be removed. That's the issue of ease of doing business. Like for example, now if you have a property here, you want to register and get title. You know how many days it will take you? To take you years.
Just to get that.
Just to get that. C of O. To get that one, you have to pay through your nose. You have to talk to write to people. This and that. Meanwhile, this is something that shouldn't take more than 30 days in other parts of the world. Do you know? Even to get your tax paid, you have to bribe somebody to pay your tithe. Your tax. You have to bribe somebody. You need a consultant to help you pay government dues. You need a consultant.
I think the government has made it easy.
It's terrible. And these are things that should be automated using capacities or capabilities. Electronic. That should be automated. But if you automate it now, how will I get the little pages I'm supposed to get? Customs, clearing. It's automated. As you are registering your import, you are importing a car, for example. You automate it. Then the process, what you pay comes out and you see it very clearly that this is why you are paying this amount. And as soon as you pay. Your document goes and then it comes out. But today it's not possible. The man that is there is crying every day. He's crying every day. To make this importation process. People, okay, let us do it, and we will do it.
So the government take that decision to do it.
It's not government I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's the government that I'm talking about. Even to approve new refineries, do you know the problem?
Even the modular refineries.
Even modular we are talking about. Do you know the tedious process?
Let me ask what is the benefit of rehabilitating Port Harcourt refinery?
The benefit is obvious. We will get, at least there will be less importation. They will import less, because if it's working, then those capacity that is going to produce at least maybe 1,000 barrels a day, they will not import that again. So it will reduce importation. It will bring employment, because most people to refineries now, all people retired, replaced, because they are not. Can you go and replace them? The people that are there now are not doing anything. So if you go and bring new person, what you rehabilitate it. Now you will be manpower, employment, import the car, commercial, contract work, businessmen will be coming. The middlemen, other people will be getting something. There are a lot of benefits. Beneficial. If they will benefit from it. More people, at least employment, there will be sure employment, whether it is sessional or the long period, no problem. What I know that they must employ. So if you do not employ, who will run this? I'm saying the important thing is that they must.
Okay, so like the period of that I will take from 6 to about 3 years. So what happened?
They will continue importing. They will continue importing fuel, and because as we have said before, it will take them almost 1 year to import parts alone. To import the parts will take them almost 1 year.
So if you continue importing fuel, is it going to be a stable price? Or will still price of petrol stable?
The government, that's the mind of the government, because if they wake up, they tell us they have limitation, they will come back again, they will tell us their subsidy, so they will continue to claim of subsidy till all the refineries are working. Because if they are working, those will still be there. Because last time we came here, we talk of subsidies. Subsidy is again because of the problem of employment security. Because now, fuel to Sokoto, we need to pay more. And somebody like that to Ishabolode, he will pay the same amount. So that's where the subsidy come in. They continue to pay the people. Price in the north will get escalate. The one in the fact will not escalate. The area they don't subsidize their own, because from here to Asaba or to Benin, may not take you more than 50,000. But if you are going to him, pay 200 to take your tanker. So, and if the man put it on his own bill, you will see the fuel 500 there. So that's why this subsidy continue to come. So even if we repair the refineries and we did not check the pipeline taking fuel to Kano, to Sokoto, to Enugu, to this place, the problem of fuel will still be there, because the transportation will be there. So they will now tell you, say,
not part of the old rehabilitation thing when you want to rehabilitate the refinery from the refinery to other parts.
Yes, but you know the security there, that when they are pumping, they will not go and start tapping. That's what we are saying here. All of us have a problem to our problem. All of us, even the woman on the road, the truck, all of us, because you will see them cutting the pipe. It will not. Your husband bring it. And that happened at that almost 300 people were burned to death. Everybody come scooping. It's not our national case. Now our home. So if there will be security on the pipeline to put from here to Kano, doesn't take too much. You are getting your result that way.
I think it was Chief Mamoge that talked about putting surveillance on
the surveillance are there.
You have a camera, or you put something like say they did in Shell, where the pipeline they have to put.
I told you there's in Shell they monitor. They put a smaller pipe
for the crude to pass.
To pass, or the petrol to pass. Yes. A bigger pipe, they put it inside, pump water on the bigger side, so that before you get to where the product is, you have broken the first one. The pressure on the station will now come down. So they will now know that there is an attempt on the line. They will stop pumping if they are pumping, to go and know where that is just a security measure. But because if you just do it, as far as you are pumping, you might not know on time that people are taking it, because you'll be taking only the people at the end. We know that we are not getting what we are supposed to get, but the person pumping will not know, because it's getting the pressure on the line. So these people, the people at the end, will be the person to report. We are supposed to get our gauge here, supposed to be 60, but it's 40. The pressure here is 40. It means there's a leakage somewhere. Because, but you see, Nigerian system failure. The whole system has failed. Nobody will even report until after 3 days, or when fire don't catch there, burn the whole village before we go not say something bad has happened.
I need to go to Chancellor King. What do you think as well that benefit of the refinery, and then what will happen, like I asked him, between now and the time they're going to rehabilitate the refinery?
I'm not happy with what is when I look at what is likely to happen between now and then. When I say then, I mean end of the turnaround maintenance. I'm scared.
Comes in, it will continue the
As a matter of fact, I'm scared. Very
for this period of time, and then government won't go ahead because it's going to affect.
Look at the route. Look at the route from Ugeli, dual carriage to Asaba. Ordinarily, should that route take more than 2 years? Shouldn't. But how many years has it taken?
So you are afraid that if there's a change of government, if this refinery rehabilitation does not end with this administration, that the next one coming in might not go through with it? So how happens with people that are permitting that?
The thing is that it's very wrong timing, very, very wrong timing. And two, the benefits are very, 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 you can't see them when you compare to
what suffering we are still going to go through between now and then. And the fact that even though we are talking 3 years, it can extend to more than 3 years. So now, for example, now you know your naira is sliding. So, and you are still importing. So which means that there's always going to be an escalation in the price of petroleum product. Take for example petrol, especially petrol. Now he has said it, the pipes are not working, so we have to go by road to distribute, and the security situation is getting worse by the day.
So that's one disadvantage of it.
Very soon now, the tanker driver might decide that they are no more going. Are you getting my point?
And we are on strike.
And they can go on strike. And even if they go on strike, there's no immediate quick fix that say, okay, don't worry, we are now patrolling the road. Yeah, come, or escort. Can you escort every tanker? So between now and then, that then is not definitive. There's so many things going to happen. Change of government, security situation getting worse, the roads are getting worse, the pipelines are not being fixed. Okay, well, they have decided to divide the distribution facilities, the depot and the pipelines into 4 lots. 4. Port Harcourt, Warri, Lagos, Kaduna. That's the depot, the pipelines, facilities for those areas. They have decided to divide into lots and contract them out to people who will maintain, operate, and transfer later. They are in that process now. Something companies lots. They are shortlisting, and then those companies will now come following certain scope that is being given to start their work. We hope that they are properly monitored to get a good job done. Are you getting my point? And Chief is saying you did that type of thing. You packaged the distribution of electricity to BDC, KDC, Badan, this and that, and you gave them the direction to follow, the scope, what they are supposed to do step by step by step by step. Each one is supposed to invest 10 billion naira, each one. That was the requirement, and they were told exactly what to do based on World Bank experiment and recommendation. All of them were told what to do to revamp the distribution system, all. But after the contracts have been signed, all of them ganged up together and said, this money we paid, we must get it back first soon. So they started doing what you call estimated billing. Everybody started crying about it. They made it, they outlawed it.
Well, it was a shot he went to a lot yesterday against Lorenzo Bissetti. Tsitsipas, taking him long to bring it out here.
30-15.
Oh my goodness me. What on earth happened there? Well, it is